everybody, and welcome along to League of Europe Season 9. We are here for Division 3, round number 3 in Suzuka today for the Japanese Grand Prix. It should be a very exciting one. I can't wait for you to watch this race. My name is Jesport, and joining me in the commentary box for this race and for the rest of the season, I've got my good old partner in crime back. It is, of course, Mr. Evil Dragon. Welcome back, Liam.
Well, hello there. I'm back. Yes, they've dragged me out of the land of between worlds. I'm back after a few weeks of dealing with some things. But anyway, good news. We're in Japan, which last time I raced here or commentated, it didn't end well. Well, last time I commentated here, I saw a car flip over. Last time I raced here, I got that nearly twice. So, well, it's probably why I'm in the commentary box now, and yeah, we'll see what happens. But 18 drivers ahead of us. But quite crucially, Jess, now I just looked just before we started the Division 3 stewards report from last week. Now I wasn't here last week, so everyone sit down, hold on to your chairs, because I'm going to read you the stewards report, and it's quite big. So we've got Division 3 at Hanarin versus Aledi, overtaking under safety car. 5-second penalty added to your race time, Aledi. Tut tut. Hanarin versus Aledi, weaving. 3 license points added to your total. Aledi, naughty. And then we've got Agarapu versus Ryan, causing a collision. 5-second penalty, 3 license points added to Ryan. Naughty. And then we've got Ryan, again with a dangerous driving, 2 license points added to Ryan. Oh, they're having a battle here. And then, again, even worse for Ryan, he got reported for not leaving racing room. 5 penalty points to Ryan for no footage. This is a disaster for him. What could happen? As long as he doesn't get any more penalties, it will be good. But guess what? D Mort versus Ryan, causing a collision. 3 penalty point, 3 seconds, plus 2 penalty points for Ryan. It's not going well for him in that race. J Luke versus Mort, causing a collision. 3 seconds plus 2 penalty points for Mort. And this is the massive one. J Luke had a reverse run, causing a collision. 3 license points. Guess who it was added to, Jess?
Ryan.
It was Ryan. He got, what did we say, 3, 4, 5, 10, 12, 15 in that race, penalty points. And if I remember correctly, it's 50 until you're in trouble. So he's already in 2 races. I don't know how many penalty points he's got at the first race, but he's already 25%, well, over 25% all the way there nearly, of being banned. So Ryan needs to be careful. Now, Ryan is not here today, is he? Is he here?
He's not here today. No, I don't think so. But we do have some. I don't even know who's reserving, because we don't have access to the reserve or the free chat anymore. We used to last season, so I was able to see who was reserving before we started the stream. But obviously not. I don't see Ryan in the. I don't see Ryan Belshot in the lobby. So I see the Ryan B, the good one, in the Red Bull. I see him in the lobby, so at least he's here for this race. So yeah, the stewards report was quite long. So whoever sat through that, well done. Thank you for sitting through that. But let's talk about the good things. YHYY and Cam had some great results last week. Of course, YHYY winning the feature race, Cam winning the sprint and taking 2nd place as well. Cam's now leading the championship with YHYY in 2nd spot. 44 points to Cam. YHYY got 37. MTR, by the way, has got 37 as well, but due to countback, YHYY is ahead of them, that's why. Sagat, with his win, still in 4th place, believe it or not. 25 points. He DNF last week. It was a bit of a shame to see him DNFing, but there we go. D Mort's in 5th place on 21 points. Lars, our reserve driver, in 6th on 18 points. I don't think he's racing tonight. We got Chill on 17 points. He's racing tonight in the Red Bull. So there we go. He's Ryan B's teammate tonight. There's no Melty tonight, by the way. So yes, that's why he's filling in for him. Harry on 12. Matt Tibbles on 12. Matt Tibbles had a good race last week. He DNF'd the first week, but he had a very good race last week. He got one of our Driver of the Day nominations. J Luke in 11 on 10. Then we got George, Guapo, Aledi, Melty, Cool Kicker, Saronte, Mr. Router, Connor, Damon, Ryan Belshaw, Harry F, Ben and Jill show. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drivers yet to score. We don't have the constructors, unfortunately, which is kind of a bit frustrating, but there we go. That is life. But yeah, those are your standings, and quite close up the top, but Cam really showed himself in the sprint, and White did a splendid job in the feature.
Yeah, indeed. Well, obviously, we'll be finding out what happens during this race. It could be very exciting, of course. Suzuka, very known for being in treacherous conditions in real life, of course. You have to go back quite a few, well, last season and the atrocious rain, of course. That was the race that only just got over half race distance, I believe, of course. It'll be interesting to see if it's raining here today, and I'm sure the drivers will let us know. But for qualifying, nice sunshine with a few clouds above here at Suzuka. But like I said, 19 drivers. Of course, we are missing one driver. That is the McLaren, which we are missing for it. And I've been informed it's going to be dry. Jay Lucas saying hallelujah. So he's very happy about that one. But of course, it's the first time I get to see all the drivers, and all of them, quite a lot of them. I know Connor O'Keefe, of course, was so good in Division 4 last season. Tia Brum, who is, I think, in Division 2.
Yeah, Brum's in Division 2. Yeah, doing quite well in Division 2, believe it or not. So,
I know,
yeah.
It's ironic. He dominated Division 4, and they put him straight in Division 2. That's how OP he is. It's good to see. But, of course, Connor, who got quite a few podiums, was a good title challenge quite the way through the season. Finished P2, I believe, in the championship standings then. But, of course, a few other drivers. Matt Tibos in the McLaren now, so can't curse him. Who is in the Alpine today? We've got George in the Alpine, and we've got
Guapo.
Guapo.
I thought he was in the McLaren.
No, I think he's the reserve.
Ah, that explains it then. I swear he's on the McLaren in the standings. Yeah, he's in the wrong car.
Oh,
naughty. But there we go. We've got quite a lot of people on circuit right now about to start their laps. Now, I'm sure Liam will tell you a little bit more facts in just a few moments' time, but the most famous moment of the Suzuka, well, the Japanese Grand Prix, was when Damon Hill won his first world title in 1996. I absolutely love that. That's when I got first introduced to Formula 1 by watching a Damon Hill documentary. So this track has a special place in my heart, and it was hosted the Grand Prix all but 2 years since 1987. Some quite controversial moments, believe it or not, aka Senna versus Prost, happened 2 times. Once, which was in the middle of the race, and then once at the very start, both of which had very bad implications for the championship. But yeah, I'm sure Liam has got some more facts in his back pocket that he can read. First car, I'm trying to see the first car that's out on a lap. I believe that's D-Mort's, or it might be Sergat. I'm not entirely sure. Nope, it's D-Mort's. He's the first man on a lap.
Yeah, he's just coming down out through the S's, up towards, of course, the Dunlop curve, which is completely and utterly flat in these modern Formula 1 cars. Pretty much about 75% throttle. There we go, on to 100% on the X's. So not pushing to the absolute limit down into Degner 1 and 2. Very easy to have the rear end slide out of through there, but he's got that perfectly done through Degner 1, down into Degner 2. That looks smooth. Under, of course, the figure of 8, the only circuit in F1 that is a figure 8. Pretty much one of the only circuits in, well, anywhere that's a figure 8 that you can race on, of course, not a test track, but that doesn't exist. You can't really race an F1 car unless you want to be murdered spectacularly because it crosses over itself. But that one, much better. Down into Spoon, of course. Got the 50-metre braking zone there, and you can run a little bit wide here, but of course, track limits are being enforced, though, of course. Let's see if anyone decides to be a little bit cheeky as they come down then. Down the straight, in course, the little right, which I believe is a little service station for if we're doing track days, down into 130, of course 190 miles an hour, you chuck it left, down to the braking zone, into the Casio triangle, of course, make sure you don't do a Latifian turn on the first right, murders a bollard on the exit, Casio down, of course, the hill, over where the bump used to be, but no longer, and this is going to be a 29.8 first lap. Behind him, we've got one of the Mercedes, which presumably is going to be Sergat up to the line. Let's see what he can do, getting himself even quicker. Goes into a 29.2. Behind that, the Red Bull. Ryan B goes up to third. Behind that, we've got the other Red Bull, which will be Chill, coming down into, not Chill, it'll be George in, there's a few other cars. There's Ben Scott in a Ferrari coming up first. It'll be Toronto, I believe, but it's got up to fourth in the other Ferrari didn't say a lap time. Next up the line, here's George, not on a very good lap time. Sorts himself fourth, just ahead of, just behind MCR. Behind that, we've got Cam, the championship leader, up into fourth for how long? It is stays fourth. J-Look into sixth position. Behind that, the other half, that'll be Lenny coming down into the pit lane. And that really, the first couple of cars, we've got Kick Up coming up to the line as well. Let's see what he can do. And again, not setting the timing screens alike, but it's good enough to put himself into sixth. And now, Agwapu up to the line in the Alpine. He goes 17. No, he's gone third. He's 17th on my screen still. Okay. Oh, he's third now. There we go. He's fixed himself. Third, second, 17th.
T-Mart's in second at the moment, but he's invalidated, so he's going to go into the pits. But we got Connor O'Keefe on the mediums, believe it or not. He's well known in our division last season to go on the mediums, and he just set a 1:32.9. He didn't use much ERS, so I'm guessing that was a banker lap for the Mercedes driver, just to get a bit of a feel for the track. I wonder if it's just a few practice laps before you use some softs, because you only get 3 sets of softs if you go for the balance option. And tyre wear, not too bad in terms of the mediums, as Connor has gone for a spin in the S's. Nice recovery, believe it or not. Yes, and I've seen quite a few recovery moments when I was watching the Race of Champions earlier on as well. So, yeah, Connor did a great job getting it back on the circuit.
Matt Tibos.
Matt Tibos is off.
Under the tunnel. And he damaged the front right end plate.
There's an end plate missing for someone, so I wasn't sure if there was anyone bidding it, or I don't know, but at least he's back on circuit. It could be worse for Matt Tibos,
yes, the
but there we go.
McLaren has got damage. Front right end plate has gone, so...
Yeah.
Dropped it under the tunnel, probably gone a little bit too wide through there. Car wouldn't stick, of course, but like you said, of course, 2 races were not held at Suzuka since it came on the F1 calendar. That is 2007 and at 2008, which of course is raised at my favourite circuit of all time, Fuji International Speedway, which I adore. Want it back because it's a lot better than this piece of track that I don't like. It's horrible.
Oh, Harry's had a moment to the start of the Dunlop curve, and he's lost his end plate as well, so...
Lots of cars struggling. See, this is proving my point, F1. Just get rid of Suzuka, give me Fuji, and then we'll have fun. I mean, you can have monsoon conditions at Fuji as well, and that's more fun, because about Fuji, I mean, you could also have a volcano. That's
Harry's fun again. And by the way, Fuji, the Fuji track that you were referring to also hosted, I think it was the marathon in the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. So there we go. So
also very famous for the 1976 Japanese Grand Prix, the first televised Formula One race of live televised race. Of course, James Hunt went on to win that race and the title. Of course, Niki Lauda infamously parked the car due to fearing for his life, which is understandable, figuring what happened to him slightly earlier on in 1976. Bless the legend, of course, Lauda. He passed away a couple of years ago now, of course. More famous now, of course, won 1984 title, of course, against Alain Prost, of course, spearheaded the Mercedes program alongside Toto Wolff in the 2010s, was influential, of course, of some bloke called Lewis Hamilton joining. But let's see what the rest of the drivers can do. Yellow flags, that'll be one of the cars getting out the way as I will run on board YHYY as it come up over the crest into Dunlop. There's a Ferrari again out of the way, so he's another one's gone for a spin through there, down into Degner 1 and 2, clip it nice through there, down into Degner 2, down into 4th gear, up to 5th on the exit, of course, and then down up into 6th, into 7th gear, maybe just about touching it. Just about touch it down into 3rd gear, shut the front end in, of course, let the car just float through, get gently on the paddle, then full throttle on the exit, and of course then you want to tighten it up down in to Spoon Curve as well, which is one of the more beautiful corners on this circuit, named because it looks like a slight spoon, of course, and then down into 130R, which is not original, it's not the 130 degree radii it is, I think it's now nearer 120 degrees, but not quite 130R anymore, but still holds its name. Of course, you chuck it through here, 194 miles an hour, slightly over the curve, it gets it stopped down into the chicane, the Casio triangle, right, then left, and then, of course, back on the power, up to the line. This should be, I'd say, relatively around about a top 6-7 positions, I would have it a guess, and he is, ironically, just ahead of that, in 5th position there, with a 1 minute 30.009, just ahead of Ryan B with 130.083. few other cars coming to the line. We've got the Aston Martin of Quilly going up to the line right now. Does not improve. I think that was his outlap. Actually, instead, of course, the two Ferraris, which aren't having a good afternoon so far. Sorrento, he spun it just a few minutes ago. And only finds himself at 152. 54 right now, so he's going to probably go on there. 8 minutes to go in qualifying. That's the sun starts to set slightly over Suzuka, of course. And don't forget, normally in real life, this would be a 5 a.m. start, 6 a.m. start, I think, in real life, isn't it, normally?
Yeah, it is. Well, I like morning races. I like getting up for them as well because you get the rest of the day to yourselves, really. And I always like getting up in the morning when it's dark and watching Suzuka. Apart from last year when it started off with a red flag, which was not entertaining, just tell you the truth. And we don't want to talk about what happened at the start.
Aston off.
Aston off. That is.
Stump up. Got on the curbs and the car's gone round.
He's not in the Aston yet. In the Alfa Romeo.
That's what I meant. Alpha, Aston. I swear I said Alpha. Well, probably did, but he's dropped it.
Yeah, he's dropped it a little bit. I think a lot of people are going to drop it through there either. I think for the rest of eternity, not going to lie. I think I'll see who's finishing. George Gaynor is finishing his lap. We've got an AlphaTauri in front of him. It's not J-Luke, it's the other one who's going into the pits, actually. So let's follow George. Don't want to go on that camera, so go on the onboard camera instead. George slots himself into P10. We got the Haas car next of Aleti. He's in the pits. We got the other Aston Martin in P2, 129.516 for Corley Kicker. Very good lap time from him actually as well. Ferrari's about to start his run. I think that's Sorrento's about to start his run actually.
Got up to 13th instead, so he did improve. That's what that was. So
Connor's on the lap. We'll see what he can do. 129.8, P5. Very good lap.
Yeah, P5 for the Mercedes driver, so that's good to see. Now, what are these Alfa Romeos up to? That's the critical thing. Well, getting a tow from the Mercedes ahead of him, who dives out of the way onto the gravel, onto the grass, down in the Casio. Right, that's too much. Cut the corner. That's not good. Bad. Straight to the pit lane you will go. And in he comes. Out comes Giulio in the other car. Here comes the Mercedes as well to start his next flying lap then. So on board with Sir Gatlin, the driver, who so far has just over a 2.5 advantage as he comes down towards turn number 1 into 2. Make sure you don't get too much, well, on the curb, which he does immediately.
Commentator's curse for Mr. Evil Dragon.
So it's, you know, he got away with it. I'll back out of his lap and he'll go again if he's got enough fuel, but that's not what you want to be doing. Conor O'Keefe as well, down in 6th, coming in the pit then. We've got just over 3 minutes to go in qualifying, so let's see. Let's go and have a look at the Alpine driver, shall we? Oh, hello. There's a McLaren pointing backwards there as well. Well, I don't know how... Oh, there's another car there. Okay, it's good. Don't worry. Very close. Well, let's see Mr. Alpine. Now, normally, Alpines don't get much luck with me. This one hasn't died yet, so we're off for a good start. But here we go. Down through. Of course, down into 130. Now, this is one of the best corners in Formula 1. And there has been some major incidents in the past. It is a very high-speed corner. Of course, Alec Manette famously went through the barrier up here, of course, in 2002. Of course, remember, it was a Virgin in 2010. I think it was Degrassi went off there. Apart from that, not many other drivers have had big incidents. Of course, the last corner, very easy as well to lose the rear end. Montoya had a big off down there, of course, in 2005, bedding himself in the wall. A few others as well, but up to 3rd for the Alpine driver so far. So a good lap time for him. Where's the other Alpine? In the pit lane. And of course, the 2 Alphas on the lap time. We've got Hannah Ring crossing line to begin his last real run of the afternoon as he comes down in towards 1, into 2, keep it in track limits, then go with the power cross into the S section, of course. And like I said, it's very easy to get on these curves, and the rear end will not stick. It absolutely won't if you get too greedy, and that's what it is in Formula 1. You want to get all the limits, you want to push the car, but of course, with these ground effect cars, you push a little bit too much, and it will bite, like we've seen the Ferraris so far this session. Both of them have been pointing backwards at some point, but hopefully they have got their pointy spinalas out, but through into the Degnan 2, a little bit wide. That's going to be a validator. That gets away with it through there, so not too bad. Gets away with it down into the hairpin at the top of the hill. And of course, you keep rising up then just a little bit more, and then it's downhill from there on out as you rise to the top of the crest, and then all the way downhill into Spoon Curve. The undulation, of course, here at Suzuka, an old-school circuit built in 1960s. Of course, first hosted a race in 1987, if memory serves me correctly, of course. most famous, of course, the 88, 89, and 90, and of course, other title deciders as well. But of course, since these modern cars, it's become a little bit of a hard to overtake circuit. Hannibin's really not pushed this car. I don't think he's actually pushing entirely.
He's running out of fuel, Liam. He's running out of fuel. He's got the red flashing lights. Wonder if he's going to go into the pits now. Yes, he is going to go into the pits now. So that explains why he wasn't pushing much, but we got a few more people either about to start laps or finish off their laps. We got Stomper going through sector 1 now. He manages to take the S quite nicely.
Car in the pit lane, and that was Julia dropping it in the last corner. Oh, well, to be fair, very lucky the game decided to reset him. Otherwise, he would be out, but he can go again. That's his qualifying, pretty much done and dusted. His teammate also still to set a lap time, so Alfa Romeo not having a good afternoon so far. The other Williams are Ben Scott as well, not having a good day. Whilst Cam, the championship leader, finds himself down in 10th. Cam, of course, earlier on said he wasn't really looking forward to this one. He didn't feel fully confident when we were practicing well. I mean, I was faster than him, so probably says all that you needed to know, that he didn't feel very good. So hopefully he can get some pace. But here is F1 MD Stomper, 1990 then. Presumably he's born in 99, makes him 33 years old nowadays. Purple Sector 2 then in the Alfa Romeo, chucks it down into the Casio Triangle, down into third gear, a little bit right over the left, make sure you don't lose the rear end like your teammate did through here, and he'll be all nice and dandy up to the line. Won't be up onto pole position, but might find himself in the top 10, which he does, just ahead of Cam as well. So, quite intriguing, isn't it? Yeah, it is.
Everyone set laps now, and by the way, an interesting fact, both of our Alfa Romeo drivers today are reserves due to the fact that Ryan Belshaw's not here and Harry F is not here, and I believe, according to my calculations in the standings, Alfa Romeo are last in the Constructors, because they're the only team who have not scored any points for their respective teams. So that's a bit frustrating, isn't it? But then we got someone in Williams that's leading the championship, and then someone in Williams who is dead last in the championship in terms of full-time drivers. So yeah, that was a little bit of an update on the standings there. I was going to ask for the Constructors, but I forgot. But there we go. 1 minute 30 still to go, and we'll see who can beat Elgato pole position. He's known as a quick driver in qualifying. Was very unlucky last week when we visited China. China was kind of a bit hectic in terms of incidents, hence why Liam was going through all the incidents earlier on, but let's hope we don't have the same here today in Japan. Luckily, no sprint today. The next sprint, I believe, is on the 4th of March in Bahrain. I'm glad it's at Bahrain, because I'm good at Bahrain, as Connor's gone wide for good measure, but I want to see if anyone is about to finish their run. Chill's about to start one. His teammate, where's his teammate? Ryan B. Yeah, he's starting one as well. So we'll find people who's about to finish it. Oh, why? He's gone into the wall. I think that was the wall where John Lacey went off, I think in 96. So, yeah, he was very lucky not to retire the car there. So he's gone off. But that is, well, last week's race winner in China. I think that's his qualifying over.
Yeah, certainly would be then, dropping it through into the S's. Of course, Nico Hulkenberg did that, I remember, in qualifying in 2017 or 18 as well. Quite a few cars. Very easy to do, like I said. You go, right, Aleddy's been disqualified from qualifying somehow, so that's his qualifying done and dusted, wherever he is on the circuit. In the pit then, I believe, but he's out of qualifying. Sir Gatlow, purple sector 1, purple sector 2 then. Can he go in and enforce this pole position by a little bit more then? As Cool does not improve, so Gat up to the line. Does he improve? Wow. Yes, he does, by 2100ths of a second. So who can beat that time? We got one of the Hasses up to the line right now. That's MCR. Finds himself up into 8th position. Behind that, we've got the Red Bull of Ryan B, who's fighting himself through the last couple of corners right now. 31 thousandths up on his time, so might just jump ahead of MCR. Does indeed jump ahead of MCR. The Ferrari behind then of Sorrente goes to 7th. The other Ferrari of Hannaring, where does he find himself so far? Doesn't improve, stays down the back. YHYY up to the line right now. Has not had a good race lap because he did make that mistake. The Red Bull as well crosses the line. And Chill goes up to 2nd, so puts himself on the front row. Mords finds himself in 6th. The other Red Bull of the Mercedes of, well, the Williams of Cam, will get there eventually. Finds himself in 5th position. A few other cars crossing the line. J. Luke crosses the line right now. Does improve, but not by enough. The Mercedes of Connor stays in 9th. And then we are just waiting on Guapo and Matt Tibbos up to the line. Matt Tibbos goes 50. George and Ben Scott is not on a lap time. So all down to Mr. George in the Alpine then. As long as he gets the corner. Never mind. Cuts it immediately. And that is the end of his run.
He wasn't on a push lap he wasn't on a push lap anyway, Liam. 1:55.2. So
well, you never know. It still could have been. It could have been glitched. We never know. But he's last. Well, it's not last. It's 15th. And Ben Scott not on a lap time.
There we go.
He's had issues.
So Gat's on pole for, I believe it's the second time this season. He got it, I believe, in the first race in Silverstone. Neither of us were here, unfortunately. But yeah, Gat is looking to return to winning ways after DNFing last week. So definitely on form. Chill in P2 in Melty's car. Is going to hope that he improves on his misfortunes, because Chill DNF last week as well. He was very unlucky, bless him, because he was doing very well in the Williams last week. Matt, hang on. I think we're going to need a restart, Liam, because Matt Tibbos has got a 5-second penalty for blocking, and he's under AI. Yes,
allowed presumably with Ben Scott then. So Matt.
No, that was with Mercedes. That was with. No, he got it again. I'm gonna speak to the hose about this, because that's unfair if Matt Tibbos gets like a 10th grid penalty.
Well, to be fair, if he gets a 10, it won't do a lot of 10 plays, because it'll put him last because he's 14. So the game's broken. So we might get a restart. We might not. Depends, of course. Matt Tibbos. Oh, he's ran into him nearly. Is he going to get another penalty? No, it doesn't. So 10 plays grid penalty for him. I don't know if we will be getting a restart or not, but of course we shall find out in due course, and we'll keep you up to date if we are indeed having a quick restart. But if we do not, then your order will be Sir Gat from Chill, Aguapu from Cola Cam, J. Luke Mort, Saronte, Connor, Ryan, MCR, Whitehead, Stomper, Matt Tibbos, provisionally, George, Hanno, Ben, Julie, and Leddy find himself at the back of the grid with that disqualification earlier on as well.
We have got a message in the chat. I think Harry's just waiting for confirmation on whether we can restart or not. If I were them, I would restart, because yeah, it's a bit unfair for people to get it. I think someone else got disadvantaged as well, but I wasn't sure who. So we'll double check. I assume we're still going, because otherwise we would have got information already. But yeah, that was a bit unfortunate to see that happen. Nah, I don't think we're getting a restart, unfortunately. That's a bit harsh for Matt Tibbos, but there we go. No restart, I think. It's a bit of a shame, but it happens, unfortunately. But I think if it was any other league, it would have restarted. But I think since it only affects one person, then it's not restarted. But yeah, it is what it is, unfortunately. A bit harsh, though. So yeah, no restart.
Indeed, but no restart. Of course, formation app is on for us as I meme the chat with Top Gear memes as per usual.
Hey!
But in 3 seconds, we'll be getting to the grid for this race with Sunshine ahead of all of the drivers. So formation map is on in terms of the tyres, quite crucially. So Sir Gat's got the mediums, Chill's got a hard on, Aguapo's got the mediums on, Kicker's got the hard on, Cam's on the mediums, J-Luke's got a hard on, double mediums for Saronte and Mort, Gorekiev's got a hard on, Ryan MCR have got the mediums, and Whitehead has got a hard on, Stomper's got a hard on, George has got a hard on, Hannah Ring's got the mediums on, so is Ben Scott, Julie Show's got the hards on, Leddy and Matt Tibbos have both got the mediums on as well. So Jess can be happy, because I said Milan, like that she likes me saying a lot. But anyway, lots of people, 27 laps ahead of the drivers, Jess, and it's going to be interesting to see who's going to be doing what, of course. One-stop strategy, normally, of course, mediums last, of course. Right, if you start with the softs, it's up to lap 12 to go for the mediums then, and of course it's for the hard compound tyres lap 7, so expect to see if they're going to come in. It will be around about lap 16, 15 for the mediums and around about lap 20 for the hards for a set of soft compound tyres if they do decide to go for that one as well.
Yeah, soft only lasts 8 laps around here, so...
up to 12.
Yeah, up to 12 if you're lucky, but my softs usually don't last very long around here. But anyway, this track was quite magical as well, because that was when Michael Schumacher got his I believe it was his first Ferrari title back in 2000. So that was quite emotional, I think, for me anyway. I was 5 at the time. Schumacher was
1.
Schumacher was the first Ferrari driver to win the title with the team since Jody Scheckter in 1979. Scheckter, sorry. And in 2005, we saw Kimi Räikkönen, the Iceman, who won the race from 17th, and it was one of his greatest drives in total. Now, the person in 17th at the moment is Julie Show, and guess what car he's in? The Alfa Romeo. And guess what car Kimi Räikkönen was in last year? The Alfa Romeo. Stars Alive. No, the season before. The season before. Yeah, season before. I'm getting confused with the years at the moment. But
your facts are wrong.
Yes, but for the first time this season, Liam, I'll hand it over to you for the start.
Yeah, as we're just waiting for Julie Show to get himself into grid position. But of course, here at Suzuka, in just a few seconds' time, there's the loading screen. The 5 red lights ahead of the drivers in the 4th, the 5th. Look, but never stare, because here in Suzuka we are underway. Sir Gap gets a good start. What about Arapo in the other Alpine? Gets a storming start. It's on the hard sides. Getting a terrible start there. It's on the outside. Cool, trying to go around the outside. Gets shoved a little bit wide there. Through turn 1, he's going to be careful rejoining. There's a few cars coming alongside. The other Aston Martin coming in. So they go 3 wide. There is into the corner, and a terrible start from Cool. Who finds himself down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 positions. MCR dropping down a few positions out of the background as well, as they all skate around on these tricky tyres that aren't up to temperature. Matt Tibble's battling with Hannah Ring, as Matt Tibble's now up into 11th position. Might find himself up into 10th, with Julie Show dropping down a few positions as well. As Sir Gatlow gets a start he wanted to so far. Then comes the Alpine, then comes the Red Bull. Then comes Cam, who's made up of 1 or 2 positions so far.
Sorry to cut you off, as a Leddy's out the race as well.
Oh, pile up. There's a Leddy off, George off as well. And that might be a safety car. Now, it's a car in a very, dangerous location. Now, of course, we
Matt Tibos almost had a battle with Cooler Kicker there. Stays in 10th position. No safety car. Bearing in mind, safety cars on reduced in this league.
Need it back on, you know, guys. I mean, these safety cars need to be on more. Whereas Cam closing up on the back of Chill, not going to make a move down into 130R at the beginning of this race, but might make a move down into the Casio triangle around the outside. That'll be brave stuff. He'll be squeezed out if he's not careful. Up the inside, give him enough room, then try and get the better tracks. And of course, hards versus mediums. Or is he getting squeezed a little bit by Chill? But now, of course, with the help of some speed down the straight, more yellow flags flying high. There's been J. Lucas off the road as Cam goes around the outside, or does he? No, can't. Got invalidated overtake, couldn't do it, had to back off of it. And Chill and Cam slightly coming together there, no harm done, they get away with it. But J. Luke, has he lost his front wing? Looking down at him, I do not think he has. So he's kept his nose in relative condition. But I tell you what, the top 2 so far, bolting off into the distance. Now as yellow flags, that is Julie Show's gone around as well in the Alfa Romeo. There we go. Alpha, Aston, Alpine. There's lots of things beginning with A. We'll get there in the end, but George into the pit lane. You know for him, of course, 1 retirement. Like we said, a lady out at the beginning of the race who was disqualified. Ron qualifying out already. Not having the day, as yellow flags for Ben Scott, who's also having a torrid time in the Williams.
Yes, that's a bit of a shame there. He's down in 17th position. Bearing in mind the top 12 score points in League of Europe. So, bearing in mind with the amount of spins we've seen in this race so far, we're only on lap 2, if you finish, you're more than likely going to do well. So keep going, because you're more than likely going to be doing fantastic. There's Gat leading 1.7 seconds. A Guapo in the Alpine, well, who's meant to be in the McLaren, but there we go. He's keeping a 3.2 second gap to Chill as well, because Chill and Cam were fighting earlier on as well. We'll see if Cam can get the slipstream he needs, head towards turn number 1 and get past Chill. Nope, he does not. I think Saronte is closer to D-Morts as to the other battles there were, but he can get past either. Saronte's had a good start, by the way, up to 6th position, so he's had a good race. Jaded, by the way, is off his hard compounded tyres, and he's going on to, I believe, this had the medium tyres.
New nose.
New nose, so he must have lost his front wing then.
Yeah, front left end plate, well, front right end plate has gone. Front left, of course, on the screen, which you can see if you're in the pit lane right now. But a new nose for the AlphaTauri driver, as up front we go. Back to Cam, he finds himself right at the back of Chill. No potential moves down into the hairpin as YHYY and Stomper have battle as J-Luke comes out just behind Jordan. Ben Scott now out of this race, and he's dropped it down at Dunlop, and the safety car, unsurprisingly now, for the second time, with the second car that's out and the first time this afternoon, has been deployed. So now that's going to spice the strategy up a little bit. If you were on the soft compound tyres, you might consider potentially going on a set of hards.
Nail's on the soft, so
far too early for anyone, even for the mediums and the hards. If you get to lap 7, you would consider it, but not yet. So we might see some drivers take a gamble already on a hard compound tyre. Remember, of course, 3 laps on the safety car. So if you get to around about lap 7, you would be golden for it, but I doubt we'd see any driver dive straight into the pit lane. No, I think everyone is staying out unless they have damage. But I don't see any one of these guys up front that have got damage. We might see J-Luke dive back in for that set of hard compound tyres he was on earlier on to just carry on and then save that mediums for later as well, which he can easily do if he wants to. So let's see if he decides to take that strategy. But the safety car, of course, the red bright Mercedes CrowdStrike safety car, which is very bright, and still don't like a red safety car, which is you know, red and looks a bit weird because Ferraris are red and it's a Mercedes and it doesn't work. And I prefer the green Aston Martin.
I prefer the green Aston Martin as well. I mean, I
prefer the look of the Mercedes, but I prefer the Aston because it's the right colour for a car. Mercedes should either be A, silver, or
green,
B, black,
or black,
or white. Just not red. Don't. I mean, you can paint a safety car a Mercedes red. I mean, I do like Mercedes in red. Don't get me wrong. However, it just feels wrong when there's a red car called a Ferrari here. Can we just get a Ferrari? I mean, it'd probably blow up, let's be fair. A Ferrari safety car wouldn't be very safety efficient because I don't think I mean, there's the Bernetta, I suppose. I think it's the Ferrari, which is slightly longer, but from that, not really other Ferraris I can think of that would be suitable for a safety car. I mean, your Ferrari safety car would be entertaining, to be fair, but you wouldn't be able to put any safety equipment in. Though it would look awesome, race-looking safety car.
I remember we were talking about what types of safety cars there were, I think, at one point. I think it was in LOE that we talked about it. It might be in another league.
It was, and there's a lot of cars. Lamborghinis, there has been Ferrari. There's a Tesla Rosso that did it in 1984. In comes D-Morts. Now, this for a set of hard compound tyres.
That's a gamble.
You better go to the end from here, so you'll lose some positions, but in theory to gain some, unless he's damaged his nose. No, hasn't. Set of hard compound tyres goes on, and immediately he'll come straight back up. Won't lose himself too many positions either, so all ends well for him.
Alright then, so we'll look at positions gained then for the drivers. Up 11 places, by the way, similar to last week. Matt Tibos, he likes gaining positions off the start, doesn't he? And likes to have good races from the back to near the front, so awesome job. Up next was Harry, who's up 4 places, he's up to 11th. Julie is up to 14th, he's up 3 places. We also got Ryan B, Connor Keefe, Saronte, they're up 3 as well. And then we got a Grappa up 1, Cam up 1, MCR up 1, Stomper up 1. And the biggest loser, by the way, was J-Luke down 11, who had a new nose and he spun. So, yeah, he's gained the most. Chill has dropped down 1. Obviously, D Morse has come in for a strategy change. But pretty much he stayed where he is. Gat is pretty much the only person on this grid to stay where he is, start on pole and keep it there. He has had the most perfect start at this race, and if it's a track where you want to do well in qualifying, this is the track to do it. So, because it's hard to overtake.
I mean, there's another track which is coming up, which is better to do qualifying on and get pole. That's Monaco, which comes in just
2 weeks.
2 weeks' time, of course, after we head to Abu Dhabi next week, and of course then off to Monte Carlo, I believe. After that, there's one in between that. But
a few days before Valentine's Day.
Yes, Valentine. It's a good day, Valentine's Day. Normally, I mean, you give your loved ones things and cuddles and stuff. So
safety car's in this lap.
Yes, safety car in this lap. My love of the life is in the safety car, which I normally cause in racing, but in it goes. So goodbye, safety car, my dearly beloved. And let's go right on board then with the Mercedes. Come through the last corner. When's he going to decide to go? Needs to be careful to slow too much, as everyone right up behind, but he's gone right now. Following pretty quickly is Aguo, so let's see if he can do anything. The top two have jumped away, but no moves down in towards the first couple of corners. I'm sensing for what these drivers might have a Ferrari look up the inside. No, not too close. Eve up down towards turn 1, 2, out we go. But everyone looks like they're remaining status quo, apart from Stomp Up, who's gone round. Too much curve for him as he's got the car going. Is also off the road as George dropped the car as well. And neither of them having a good start of the race. Both of them struggling and now needs to get themselves back in a groove and not drop the car again, which is easy to do when you make one mistake. Remember, safety cars historically breed safety cars, but it is Grap leading this race from Aggro, then from Chill, then ahead of Cam, who's, like usual, having a good start of this race. He's been following his Chill quite a lot, and again, looking for a potential move, but too early to make those types of dive. It's a race of attrition, a race of patience, but might think about a move down into Spoon Curb. But again, he's just waiting and biding his time right now. Knows more than anyone right now to win a championship, you not need to make mistakes. He is a championship leader, so as long as he doesn't start making mistakes, then it'll all be good as he goes down, of course, in towards 130. And behind them, a few other cars just following suit, but no one making manoeuvres right yet. We've got a few close, of course. Quite crucially is Cam versus Shit around the outside down to the chicane. Won't do it around there. Might low. Think about a little lunge up the inside of the second part, but can't quite do it. Get caught up. Then the Ferrari ends up running into him slightly, and everyone just has to back up a tiny bit more. So, like I said, Jess, of course, if we come to this track, it is difficult to overtake.
Yeah, it is. I think this is a big DRS train, and because it's hard to overtake, they can save a bit of ERS as well for most of this race. Now, I've noticed when I was doing practice earlier with you, ERS does burn very quickly around this track, despite the fact there's more corners. But I mainly use it on the straights, and you'll be quite surprised how much you use in 130R alone. So, yes, you really want to be saving at this point of the race. The only time to really use ERS is when you're closing up to overtake, maybe into turn 1 or the Casio triangle, or maybe on your in lap before the pit when you go into the pit. So that's the only times to really do it in order to balance your ERS effectively. So Cam has got some trouble because he's got Sorante on more 10% more ERS battery than him. But well, if you can't overtake, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. So Gap pulling another gap to the lead right now, 2.5 seconds over Grappa at the moment. We've got Chill, who's almost within DRS range of the Alpine driver. But we got Cam captured, so Cam could go for a move here into the famous 130R. We've seen some brave people make some moves there before. Stomper, by the way, is getting past George up to 16, but Cam trying to go around the outside into Casio triangle. Does he quite do it? No, he does not. Chill pulls away with his straight line speed then. The DRS is enabled. We've got Sorante and Connor right behind them, trying to take advantage of both of them, but it doesn't look like they're taking advantage right now due to this massive DRS train. It's just very, very costly at the moment. And, well, Guapo must be loving this. He's probably like, you could keep fighting behind me. I could just try and pull away and keep my second place, thank you. As Chills lost time to the Alpine driver. He lost about 3 attempts like that. But, yeah, this is very harder than it looks. This is quite a big DRS train from 3rd all the way down to 10th.
Yeah, so it's all really getting caught up because, of course, Chill on those hard compound tyres, Cam on the mediums, Saronte and Connor, Saronte as well on the mediums, Connor on the hards. But really, what Cam needs to do right now, he needs to fake a dummy, of course, down in towards the back end of the circuit. He needs to try and put Chill offline, try and take him in a little bit of a different line, just maybe not make that move, or try and make that move down into the Casio triangle, because he's tried it once, it's not worked, he's tried it twice, it's not worked. And he's too far back now to make an attempt to make a move. It's Chill starting to close up again on that Aguapo, who's struggling a little bit on those medium compound tyres now. So starting to go off, remember. Around about lap 17 as Mort gets up into 30. Your technical net race leader now, I suppose, if all things go the way they should. But Cam not too close behind, but way on the move. There's a few cars dropping down the back making manoeuvres. Luke passes Julio as well down in towards 130R, gets the job done before they hit the braking zone into the Casio triangle. But on board Hannah Ring might have a little potential look at the back of the Alpha Tauri, but again too far back to be making any move right there. But up front in the lead, Sergat doing the job he needs to right now, can afford to give those curbs a few extra millimeters, a few extra yards, because he's got a bit of a time. He can lose maybe a tenth here, a tenth there now, especially as he's got the gap, and it will take a while if he just loses a tenth or two a lap by just keeping off the curbs. It will help, because talking of curbs, Hannah Ring's gone off the road for presumably touching those curbs. Actually, I mentioned curbs, and so just you know what? Yeah, I'm not going to listen to him when it touched the curbs. And now he's died as Kicker's gone off as well, I think, as under the bridge. And guess what? Another curb. I mentioned curbs and everyone just dies on curbs.
Do not say the word. Don't say the word. Oh, Saronte is being passed by Connor Keith. They're going to go side by side into Spoon Curve. They're holding their line a little bit. Very respectable race between the two of them. As Saronte around the outside holds his line and keeps P5. But Connor Keith wants none of that. He wants to get past the Ferrari driver. That's why it's allowing Cam some breathing space up front. Look at this. Connor Keith going to try and get past 130R. Saronte falls out wide. Saronte's dropped it. He's lost it. He's down into 9th position at the moment. White could get past him as well, but it's always risky, Liam, trying to get past him to 130R. You might want to wait when you get to the Casio triangle.
Yeah, he tried to get, it was rather more, but Connor keep going up the inside. Saronte was forced a little bit wide, got on the curb, dropped the car around. He got very lucky, did Ryan B, that he didn't collect him there as the car spat somewhere across the circuit. Yellow flags. D. Mort has dropped it at turn number 1, so that's his strategy gone, dust and done. So he was on for a potential leading this race at some point. Race leader, off the road. Sergat dropped it, and what I mentioned earlier on, he needed not to do is use the curbs, and the race lead changes, and well, that's thrown the spanner in the works, because Grat, who was leading by over 3.5 seconds, find himself down plumb in 7th position with a mistake and another car off the road. And that's Saronte under the bridge. And has he damaged the Ferrari now? I don't think so, but critically now, that means that the Alpine then leads this race. And Alpine, who haven't had a good couple of seasons in D3, as Hannah Ring also struggling. Saronte as well.
Ferraris are struggling.
Both Ferraris having a torrid time this afternoon. But the Alpine leads, and of course Alpine,
he was meant to be in the McLaren.
He was meant to be in the McLaren, but the Alpine team, which haven't won a race in a couple of seasons in D3, find themselves right now up the front of the order with 17 laps to go. Yes, they've still yet to stop, and he's got Chill and Cam, who's really just holding the bit between his teeth right now. He hasn't got the ERS to play with, but he's finds himself in P3 as Connor O'Keefe finds himself down into 5th position right now, as he almost runs into the back of Ryan B as they get awfully close as MCR and Sir Gat go battle as Gat now finds himself back up into 6th position. This race still not over for him. He is not too far off, only about 5 seconds off the lead, 6-7. So it's not over just yet for him as in comes the Ferrari into the pit lane.
Yes, I think for a new nose, I think, Liam, because otherwise he's going to be in a spot of bother at the moment. But yeah, it just shows how the league could just change just like that. You can't afford to become complacent, and those curves can be deadly, and he's now into 6th. But to be fair, it could have been worse for him. He could have had a new nose, but he doesn't need a new nose at this moment in time. And talking of curves, there's another spinner, and that is Stomper. That bridge again, Liam, is catching people out.
Yeah, it's the curve on the outside. Normally you get a little bit too wide on there and you're pushing quite heavily, and then you get on it, and that's all it needs, and the car will immediately go around on you, so has to go and recharge the batteries and go again if he can. But up front still 1.0 seconds between first and second, not quite in the DRS rate for the Red Bull driver. And of course we expect to see some people coming in the pit lane soon as Cam comes in right now as Stomper is gone off the road again. It's hit the wall, it looks like, actually, somewhere. So he's gone off down at the exit of that spoon. So he's hit the wall out of the spoon. So he's probably dropped the car on the second part of spoon as you come into the apex. The car's swapped around, and he's just slightly knocked the front wings. So he'll be coming straight into the pit lane, and he's not having a good afternoon as the Alfa Romeo team. Hello, Julie is in 9th so far, but like we said, Cam just came in the pit lane a few seconds ago, comes out just ahead of Hannah Ring in 14th, so he needs to get these tyres up to temperature as Stomper has retired in the pit lane because he's probably had enough of those ones, so no safety car for that.
Yes, indeed. Now, in previous F1 games, we have seen the undercut being very powerful around Japan. Well, it might be a different story around here because in this game, with this new tyre model, it does take a while for the hard compounded tyres to really get to an operating temperature where you could be like full pace. So these first few laps for Cam and the ones who go into the pits early, like Matt Tibos and Toronte, it's about warming those tyres, making sure they're a good window before you can start pushing and start going for moves again as well. So luckily he's got some clear air, he's not stuck in some traffic yet, so he's able to save a bit of battery and stuff like that, but he's using a bit of battery to make sure that he can nail that undercut. So we got our race leader who is going to go in and take advantage of that. We got Ryan B as well. Haven't talked much about him. He's had another good race so far in that Red Bull. Where is he in the standings? He's currently sitting in P8 at the moment. He didn't start his season off very well. He DNF'd in Silverstone, but this is more like the Red Bull where he scored 12 points last week, and he could look on to score another 12 points this week as well. So we'll watch Cam as he heads towards the start-finish straight, and Guapo got the race lead, obviously, because he was well ahead of Cam anyway, so it's to be expected. But Cam is ahead of Ryan B, crucially.
Yeah, he's just ahead of him as Hannah Ring as well, trying to go on the charge. Remember, mediums versus hards, of course. Let's see what they can do, of course. And remember, Hannah Ring yet to stop this afternoon. So he's just trying to be in the action as Grat and Matt Tibos line themselves up nearly side by side as the hard compound tires. Remember, it takes a lap or two to get up into some working range. So expect to see that gap from Cam close right up to Grappa. It's normally about it was about 2.7. Now it's almost down to 1 second. So these hard compound tires are firing up very well now on board of Cam. So he's got them up to temperature. Now Grappo's got to get himself into temperature. Remember, we're waiting on Connor and Chell, and of course YH and MCR to come in, but they won't be coming in until at least lap 17, lap 18, we presume, to go on to a set of medium compound tyres. We might see a potential shift to the softs, but of course the soft compound tyres go off pretty quickly, as well as MCR comes into the pit lane as well, and onto that set of hard compound tyres, which we mentioned earlier on, will drop himself down probably around about where Matt Tibos is. Might just be a little bit behind as he gets the jacks up. Hard tyres go on, out he comes. And where's he going to come out on this one? It'll be pretty close between him and Matt Tibos. I think he'll just come out just behind him. Yes, he will come out just behind him. So there goes Matt Tibos up in 30. But Gat, no, never mind. Not there is Gat up there ahead because he dropped it immediately when I said it. So He's not having a good time with the Mercedes, because the second time I said he didn't need to take curbs, he dropped it, and now he's dropped it again on the curbs. So it's not gone very well for the Mercedes driver, has it, Jess?
No, but it hasn't, and it doesn't help that he was on much cooler tyres either.
Well, could be worse. The other Mercedes is up there still. He's still yet to stop, to be minded. But in second, Connor O'Keefe, who's...
Still doing a good job, though.
Yeah, he is. Behind them, a little bit wide from YH and J-Luke, the Alpha Tauris, of course, in this race. J-Luke, who's done 2 stops this afternoon, is kind of a little bit of a dark horse in this race. So don't actually know fully where J-Luke's race is. He is on the hard compound tyres. I don't think he can go
I can't get to the end. It can only last about 20 laps. Yellow flag, another spinner. It's a Ferrari Savante.
Yeah, under the bridge again then. So the Ferrari team having a disaster class. They're having a miserable time here in Suzuka. A race, of course, which they have won many times in real life, of course. Chilm in the Red Bull has got the bit between his teeth as in comes Giuliano into the pits. In the Alfa Romeo, bumps it over the little bit of broken pit lane on this game. For some reason, it's a bit glitchy and a bit... Well, I don't really know why it's so bumpy and just broken.
Well, it was more bumpy last game, Liam.
Yes, it was. It's less bumpy, but it's still not right. And I don't like it because it's really annoying. But Outlay come, it'll be ahead of MCR and, of course, GAT as well. But like I said, 2 Ferraris in their... misery at the back. They're probably hoping for someone going to have a massive accident so I can call the safety car.
You said it now.
I mean, the 2 Alpines are together. So, you know,
but one of them might need to stop again, though.
Well, I'll be fair. Well, I say the Alpines are together. They're not anymore because Cams has taken the dog's biscuit and murdered George straight away. So George has been candy napped. Now he's down into 9th. But Cam on the charge, of course, chasing down the other Alpine, who's just ahead of him as well, about 1.2 seconds as we head towards the last 12-13 laps of this race. But if you're enjoying the action, do you want to keep up to date, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell as well if you are new. Don't forget to share as well. Don't forget you can follow us on Twitter at Liam New Media and whatever Jess is. I should know this. Jess Games.
Yes.
95, not Gamer. Let's see. Finally got it the right way around.
Yes, Jess Gamer 95 is my PSN name.
Yes, which you should change it to be accurate to your Twitter profile. So then
I could, but it's not available. So.
Well, well, I mean, I just get your full name anyway because I've got you as a close friend on here. But like everyone has, everyone gets close because I'm just called Sir M. Murray Walker on here. I can't actually change it because it won't let me change it anymore, so I'm stuck.
Aston
Yellow flags.
Martin, the spinner is corner kicker. He was in 6th, but he's not anymore. As the net race leader's gone past him, and so has Cam. Connor O'Keefe has lost it near the bridge too. So I think the hard tyres are starting to have a bit of a bad life at the moment because people have been on those hard tyres for most of this race, has gone and binned it. Both the Aston Martin and the Mercedes. So that's given me worries for Chill and YHYY because they're also been on in these hard since the very start. But I think these 2 have been managing it better. If I were them, I would pit very soon for a set of the mediums. But I wonder, Liam, if they're going to hang it all out and wait for a set of softs.
Well, they could go for a set of soft compound tyres. Normally, though, they don't normally last racing-wise. They don't last too long, so I expect they'll come in. In comes Chill straight away. YHYY probably will come straight in as well. Of course, get on those set of medium compound tyres. So, yeah, I am correct on that one. Let's come straight in as well as Connor. As well, they'll go on a set of mediums. They'll go on the charge, see what they can do. Chill's going to come out. This will be quite crucial for Chill, where he's going to come out in this one. So, he'll come out. It'll be near. He will be near that Alpine battle. It'll be very close on the exit of the pit lane. And out he comes. He might just come out just alongside him. Out they come the pit lane. Is he ahead? He is just ahead then. Is the Alpine, the Red Bull though, on the medium compound tyres. Now we'll have the bit between his teeth. We'll have the chance can try and attack. As long as he gets these tyres up to temperature very quickly. Remember, they take a little bit of time to warm up behind them. Cam closing up, but Chill now, really, he's got the opportunity to win this race as long as things go well. Remember, though, a few cars ahead of him, more on the hard. J-Luke as well on the hards. those two presumed yet to stop in this race.
J-Luke has stopped.
Yeah, yet to stop again in this
race.
race.
Yeah, yet to stop again. But everyone else has done their mandatory stops. So, yes.
What's still in this race, though? He's still up front after that mistake earlier on where he did spin the car, but of course, he was under that safety car situation. He stopped, so he might be able to go to the end of the race. It's going to be difficult for him, but let's see if he can. It will be a very brilliant strategy. Like of J-Luke as well, we do believe he will come in at least in a couple of laps to go on a set of mediums, if not soft, and
right now.
It comes straight away. So there we go, perfect timing. Thank you very much, J-Luke. Don't speed in the pit lane, good boy. Mort is going to stay out, so I believe Mort potentially will go to the end of the race on these tyres.
He's hoping for a safety car, I think, to go on a set of softs.
All that.
So, but J-Luke comes out on a set of mediums. Luckily, he has a fresh set, so he's not on his mediums that he was on earlier on for the safety car period. So that's the benefit of us having a bit more flexibility in terms of the tyres. Thank you, Codemasters. So J-Luke in not of a bad position, to be fair, for him coming out. So his hard stint was pretty good. He's up into 8th place. So yeah, pretty good going from the AlphaTauri driver. He's not that far behind his teammates. So those two running line astern soon. Not close to the track though, unfortunately. Matt Tyrrell's is going to close up to him because J-Luke is on cold tyres right now. But we'll see what J-Luke could do throughout the rest of this race. We've got to see what George Gamer can do because he saw most of his rivals come in. But he may follow what Dean Morts is going to do. Dean Morts is going to hope that George stays out as a bit of a benchmark, as it were, as well. But Chill is now 6/10 behind Guapo, and he's on a charge there. He was very unlucky last week, remember? DNF'd at the final corner, I believe, which caused the safety car. Doesn't want that to be repeated this week. He's purple sector 2, so he's getting a good run towards 130. Matt Tibbles is off! Matt Tibbles is off! He's spun around, and that curb could be deadly, Mr. Evil Dragon said through Spoon. And unfortunately, the man who did really well last week.
Jess. Chill on the back of Grappo, then down towards turn number 1. I think a little bit too far back to make a move into the first couple of corners, but he's it was definitely closer than he was. Now only 2-3 tenths behind, so this is pretty critical for his race now to get on that charge, to get on the move and find a way past. But of course, on these S sections, it's going to be very difficult. But remember, he'll have about a 6-7 tenth advantage tyre compound wise. He will have the dirty air, of course, still a thing on this game. They have dropped Cam a little bit as well. He's dropped back a little bit now from earlier on, but it is now Chill versus Grappo for the lead, presumably, of this race, unless we see Mort stay out. He's got 8 and a bit laps to go, but you'd presume Chill on those medium compound tyres should be able to close in pretty quickly. So as long as he gets past Grappo in the next couple of corners, which he should do, down in towards the first 2 corners. But he's got an opportunity first off to try and make a move down into 130, down into Spoon. Goes a little bit deep there up the road. Careful doesn't drop the car as well, but keeps it on the island just about. But again, a little bit of a mistake, a little bit of impatience there from Chill. And this is what he doesn't need to do. He just needs to know right now he's got the tyres, he's got the pace, he knows he's got the better tyres as well. He knows he is going to be ahead soon enough. He just needs to relax a little bit. Just take a breather. Line them up perfectly as YHYY passes George in the background. Now on the exit of down in towards the last corner. Down towards turn number 1. And he should easily be better ahead down here. Burning some ERS's Grappo. But with the ERS, with the DRS, not quite close enough to make a lunge down in towards turn number 1. But a little bit wide there for Grappo. Opens the door up. Through the inside he goes. And they're up into second position. There is Chill. That is what the patience, what I was mentioning, he needed to do.
Yep, he did. He waited for Grappo to make a mistake, really, and that really helped him get the move done into turn 1. So, Chill, your net race leader of this race. Potentially, but D-Morts is your race leader. But with the way Chill is catching up to D-Morts, I think Chill could be your race leader very, very soon. But we'll have to wait and see. Corley Kicker down in last place. He's got the fastest lap. So, oh, no! Connor!
Off the road, same place as Gat did earlier on as well. Both Mercedes dropping at the same corner. I mean, it's not like we've seen other cars drop at the same corner. Ferrari, which have done it at least 3 times this afternoon. To be fair, they are still somehow together. Yes. I tell you what, Kicker's coming into this race. Well, he's not too far behind this Ferrari, and he might actually get ahead of him here.
Oh, we're going to go for a move there. We've got J-Luke on George as well, on all the tyres.
That was close. Hannah, he's going to back out of that one. He does.
That was very close.
Up the move, and there he is, now into 50. We can try and take 40. Only 3 retirements in this race, by the way, so they've done good. Of course, Connor O'Keefe's gotten damaged front wing, so he's going to be in a
soft, I think.
Spot of, yeah, she's going to set a soft compound tyres from here on out and try and go to the end of the race, so should be easy. 3.6 seconds, gap now between first and second, so it is now closing, Jazz. Is it enough? Maybe.
We will see, of course. Anything can happen in Formula 1, Liam, and it usually does.
Outside Gat on Giulio, and that's an easy move. Well, that's a bit of an interesting live from the Alfa Romeo. They haven't scored a single point so far this season, just have they?
I don't think reserve score points. I'm not entirely sure. Do reserve score points against constructors?
Don't know. I mean, if not, they are still not scoring points. But I mean, Giulio is in the points right now, so I mean,
there we go. To be fair, he has had a bit of a moment in this race, but he's not given up. So, if you are listening and just want to give up, watch Julie's show. He's spun quite a few times, and he's still in 9th place and could get some decent points. So, yeah, that's an example why you should still race, even if you're having a bad one, because other mistakes can happen from some drivers, and it can help your race. I don't know how Gat's in 8th, by the way, despite his spin, so he's on a recovery mission as well.
All afternoon.
Yeah, J-Luke's on a recovery mission as well. He's quite quick, so yeah, the ones on recovery drives at the moment are doing quite well. And the only ones who have spins are not doing well are the 2 Ferraris and Matt Tibos, unfortunately, which is a bit of a shame. Lap 22 of 27. Chills brought the gap down by another second to 3 seconds now on D-Mols. We'll see if he catches him up at the end of this race. Matt Tibbles, by the way, trying to go for the move on Connor O'Keefe in through 130R. As, well, it's not the battle for the last point because they're in the points, but it's a battle for getting more points, an extra point more than your rival. As Matt Tibos, should be an easy move because Matt Tibos, well, Connor's on the medium, so really, it should be no trouble for Connor to defend this, and he does defend it. But don't forget, Connor has been promoted. Yeah, front wing, yes. So he lost a bit of downforce, unfortunately. Matt Tibos, I think, has got pretty much a clean goal. Oh, that was close.
He did touch a little bit there. Still can't go around the outside. It's going to be a little bit frustrating for Matt Tibos. He's probably going, move over, he says. I want the position. And, well, he's got the opportunity now around the inside line. That's going to be a bit of a squeeze. He'd back out if he was wise there. Might line up and move up the inside here. Oh, well, he's well. I mean, that one way of overtaking. I think he's beats the car as Connor O'Keefe, has he? No, he's got the car going. He might get himself in trouble there, Matt Tibos.
Don't beat it.
A little bit of contact right there, but all ends well, I suppose. But he's got past 2.8 seconds gap between first and second. It's not really coming down as quick as I thought right now. I mean, it is coming down about 5 tenths a lap, and we've got what?
We've got a few laps to go of this race because see some safety cars.
5 laps to pass. The rate he is going.
5:10, so 5:10.
If he does that,
it's about 2.5 seconds. Yeah, I think Chill will catch up to Mortz in the final lap.
He should do, as things stand right now. If he keeps the pace up going, he is. Should do. Pulls down another couple of attempts in this sector as well, down to 2.4 as Cooley gets a time penalty for corner cutting as well, and I expect to see Connor O'Keefe dive into the pit there and hopefully to go on instead of soft compound tyres, just go and yo-yo it.
No, he's not.
And he's given up. I mean, he would be last by quite a while, and I think he's going to get points from there, so unfortunately he has decided to retire the car, which is a shame to see, but down to 2.1 now, and another half a second gone between Morch and Shell. That gap continues to close. Remember, these tyres have been on for at least now 20 laps, so they've got to do at least 23 laps, so they are burning, and we are coming to a stage of this race now where you're gonna get towards puncture territory on these hard compound tyres. They have been on for a while. He just needs to be careful. Doesn't need to get himself a penalty. Especially if he does that, the race will be over him. But he's still doing a stellar job. We're saying it's the guy who did spin on that one of the laps, turn number 1 as well. He did point backwards, so he is doing a good job. Will he be able to hold on to first? I don't know. A podium definitely is on the cards for him, though.
Yep, he is. I think a lot of people are fighting for the podium right now. I don't think it's going to be no safety cars anymore. So I think we are just going to have a full sprint to the end of the race. So will people in the back go for soft tyres to get the fastest lap and steal the point away from everybody else? I think nothing to lose at the end of the day. George, by the way, he's on the last point right now, but he does have a 3-second penalty, so it looks like Saronte could get the final point in this race. Battle for fourth, Ryan B on the cam then, and they're on the same, pretty much similar, similar length of tyres, similar lifespan. That's what I was trying to say. I was thinking of words, and yeah, that's going to be interesting towards the end as well. 1.8 now is the gap between D-Mort and Chill. You can see D-Mort is starting to struggle with his tyres. Well, to be fair, the gap between D-Mort and Guapo is around about 5 seconds, so he's got nothing to lose by staying out, hasn't he?
Yeah, there's nothing to lose. Well, unless he gets a puncture, of course. That's the only thing he can lose. But look down into the corners like here. The gap suddenly shoots down to a little bit less, so he's definitely dropping time, especially on the brakes because of these tyres. Going off lap 25 of 27. Gap now just over 1.5 seconds between them. So it continues to close. So if it's looking the way it's going, he will get onto the back of DRS around about midway through lap 26, potentially. As things stand, he's going to be awfully close. He'll have 1 or 2 opportunities. Mort just needs to keep these tyres within some working range. What will be an incredible race victory if he can do it. Gap just remains 1.7 seconds as they hop over down into Degner 2, keeping the eye on the gap. If it pops below about 1.4, 1.3 seconds, he might get himself into a bit of trouble. But I think, as things stand, it's not looking too shabby. Down to 1.5 as they come through 1.3. If he can close up Chill a little bit more.
It's 20 laps. It's the lifespan of those hard tyres. But don't forget they were in safety car for quite a bit of that. But
the thing is, just what I'm trying to say is, if Chill can get within DRS this lap, which he's getting very close, 1.1 seconds.
He is.
And the tyres are going then on Mort. His tyres are going. Yellow flag. That is
again.
Saronte off. 7/10 of a gap now. So those tyres are shot. Tyres are shot. He's got a puncture, I think. Front left puncture on Mort. His tyres let go here on lap 25. And his valiant effort comes to none. Into the pit lane, no coming. Those tyres, they were lasting a while. They won't last anymore, and that's going to dump him right outside the point. It'll drop him down to at least 9th position, maybe 10th, but rotten luck for Mort, who was finding himself, 2 laps from a potential victory this afternoon. Now comes out down in 9th, and well, that's what happened. He'll take it on his chin. It might come out actually behind. He'll come out in 10th, I think, actually, just about. He will do so. Needs to make a move, but now Chill leads this race. And, well, surely, victory certain for him, though.
Yep, it is. As long as he doesn't do what Gat did earlier.
Yeah, well, as long as you don't do that, it'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. So, let us know in chat, by the way, who your driver of the day is. We got to pick 3, as Harry has got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. It's not been Ferrari's day at the moment, but hopefully they can have a bit of a recovery drive, well, next week once we head to the amazing Abu Dhabi, which I like on this game. But we still got 1.5 laps to go of this race first, and we are starting to see Ryan B on the back of Cam just a little bit closer at the moment. So we'll see if Ryan B could go for the move into the Casio triangle. Cam's running out of VRS. He's harvesting. Ryan B's taking an unconventional way of going for it. They touch a little bit there going through the last part of the Casio triangle. Ryan B stays ahead. But, well, it's in third position now, actually. Has Cam probably a bit deflated that this happened, but he's still got one more lap to try and do the up and over and try and get past and regain that position on Ryan B. So we'll see what happens then. As any other moves happening, doesn't look like it. But, yeah, Chill. He's got pretty much this lap to go, and then he will be winning this race. He's increasing the gap by quite some margin to P2 right now, so his victory is his right now. I think Cam is struggling because HYY is on the back of this as well with his medium tyres. I think we've got a lot of candidates for driver of the day, to be honest, but we will discuss that in due course. We'll see if Cam can launch that. Oh, they touch again. They touch again. Oh my goodness, that was quite close between the two of them. I don't think they do have any damage, of course, but we'll watch Chill heading towards Spoon Curve for the final time.
Yeah, didn't, of course, win last week. Potentially could have, but he'll, looks like as long as he does the last two corners, he will certainly take it here as he comes then down into the chicane. Into the right, into left, and through the chicane. And there's our boy, Chill. He'll come through the chicane, up to the line, and will win the Japanese Grand Prix in rather brilliant fashion. There he is on the tops of the podium. Grappo in second, Ryan in third, Cam in fourth from YH and J-Luke. Sir Gat in seventh. Julie is going to be eighth, just about. Battle between MCR and Mort as they come through the last couple of corners. And this could be awfully close. No, not going to be close enough then. It might be, actually. Julie might get passed by the pair of them. No, it doesn't. So it'll stay 8th. 9th for MCR. Mort's 10th. Matt Tibble's 11th. George and then Kicker. And then the two Ferraris, which are just chilling down the back.
So, apart from that, well, that safety car, I think we just had those spins, didn't we, that caused some people to have some incidents, but it is Chill that has won for the first time this season. Mark's very happy in the chat, bless him. Chill's a reserve driver in this league. Shame he's not full-time because I think he could be doing well in the championship, but there we go. That's him paying the price of not being a full-time driver, but yes. Chill is back to winning form. He may want to race next week as well in Abu Dhabi to keep up that form as we're just waiting for the two Ferraris to come across the line. Harry up to the line, and then Toronto to follow suit as well. So, Liam, I'll let you pick two because it's your first week back. Who are your two driver of the days?
Chill, and I'm going to give it to Aston Martin. That was running up the front. I forgot his name.
D-Mort.
Yes, D-Mort.
Yeah, that's a good shout because he, I think if it wasn't for that puncher, he would have been near the front. So there we go. You know what? I don't know. I'm gonna give it to Ryan B again because he started 10th and he managed to get on the podium again. He likes to get in positions and get on the podium. So yeah, I'm gonna give mine to Ryan B. So I think it's Chill, Mort, and Ryan B are drivers of the day, which you can vote in a poll later. But we will run through your order and I'll let Mr. Evil Dragon take it away.
Yep, so as I just wait for the podiums to end, Chill and wins this race from Guapo in second, Ryan in third from Cam in fourth, YH from J-Luke, Gat from Julie, MCR from Mort, Tibbles from George, Kick-Up from Toronto, Hannah Ring from Connor, Stomper, Ben and Leddy at the back.
And I believe it was 4 DNFs, Liam.
Yep, 4 DNFs in this race.
Yes, that was a bit unfortunate, of course, but hopefully we should be back in 7 days' time for the next race. This week we should be able to have interviews because we're on Discord. So if you're on the podium and want a bit of an interview and want to have a chat to us, I know Chill usually wants to have a chat to us, doesn't he? So Chill, if you're watching, chat with us, please, because that would be nice, won't it? But yes, honourable mentions, by the way, for people who did a great job. Julie from 17th to 8th. J-Luke with his recovery drive. Gat doing well to recover to 7th as well. Right, why you almost got my pick in 5th. So yeah, those are my other honourable mentions, which were so close to be getting our driver of the day, but unfortunately they didn't. But There we go. But yeah, those were my honourable mentions. So there we go. Chill wants to speak to us. Yay. I'll let you speak to him because I know you like to speak to him. So I will drag him in just a second, Liam.
Yes, you do that. Drag him in. Drag him in. There we go. There's our boy. In there. Won a race. I don't know how many races. He's probably won a few races. I don't know. Has he won many races? I can't remember. It's been a while. Chill. Hello.
Hello. That's my first win, actually.
It is your first win. There we go. See? Winner. There we go. One in Japan, our boy, winning. How do you feel?
I'm confused as to how it was Japan, to be honest.
You're confused how it's Japan. Well, I'm afraid.
Oh,
I was how we are in Japan. Well,
No,
I'm afraid the host selected Japan. That's how we're here.
It's unfortunate.
But yeah, of course, Mort was running really well. Of course, had that late punch. And did you feel a little bit bad for him?
No.
No.
Wow. Wow.
My man's just he's won. He's that's it. He doesn't. He's just happy. Anything could happen to the right. I mean, yeah. Of course, an up and down race for some. Yeah, after last season, it was a tough one. But to take that first victory, that's got to boost up a little bit of confidence.
Yeah, I mean, last season, I think I had like 4 clear victories taken away from me by a safety car at one point. So I think I only won the USA sprint race last season, and that was it.
Yes, indeed. But of course, in terms of the race, how did you find it generally?
It was actually pretty all right. I'd done no practice before because I knew it was Japan. I hate Japan. I go into quali. I do my PB on the final run where I was blocked by an AI car and lost 2 temps, so I would have had pole otherwise. Then in the race, it was just driving, just chilling, you could say. I was on the hards when everyone else was on the medium, so I was just leading the train, just doing my thing.
Chill was chilling, and of course, we don't have anyone else on the podium, so we'll drag in P4. Sorry, Cam, that's a bit harsh. Hi, Cam.
Hello.
So P4 there in the end, just caught out by Carl that overtook you at the last couple of corners with some lag. It was very laggy. I won't lie. But how did you find that one?
What, the race or the overtake?
Both.
I mean, I figured the overtake was coming. My tire wear was awful the entire race, so as soon as I hit 60% of the tires, I knew I was going to be in trouble, and I was going to fight it if not for the convenient lag. Chill must have had a button somewhere. But yeah, I wasn't expecting much, so I'll be fine with qualifying P5 and finishing P4.
Indeed, of course, Mort's having a very late puncture. Did you feel a little bit bad for him?
No.
No one feels bad for him. You two are heartless people. God, terrible. Poor man was running up the front all race. Now he's died.
It's a free position.
Well, there we go. So those two are evil. Jess, have you got any words for our heartless monsters that didn't like the poor old man who died?
Well, firstly, Chill, congratulations on your win, and Karen, congratulations on 4th. We'll go to Chill first with next week's track of Abu Dhabi. If you are racing next week, how are you feeling about that, Chill? We'll go to Chill first.
Well, I hate Japan. I quite like Abu Dhabi on this game. So if we go off Japan, then I don't know.
So you hope you're going to race next week then?
Hopefully. I actually only turned up for Japan just so I'd stay top of reserves list for Abu Dhabi.
Good point. You're more than likely going to be top after this week now. Cam, what are your thoughts about next week?
Just get through and try and do as well as I can. I don't like Abu Dhabi. I didn't like it before. I still don't like it. But
so one person likes it.
So.
One person likes it. One person hates it. There we go. Eve, I'll hand it over to you.
I hate Monaco more.
I like Abu Dhabi.
Hate Monaco.
Yeah, well, no one likes Monaco. Terrible circuit, but Anyway, I'll let you round it off, Jess.
Okay then, so that is the end of the Japanese Grand Prix. I don't think anyone else wants to speak to us, but thank you to Cam and Chill for wanting to speak to us. That was great to hear their thoughts about that race. Now, there's still more racing still to go. Me and Liam are racing in just under, 20 minutes for our D4 race, Japanese Grand Prix. So, yeah, we're in the McLaren this season. We're teammates. Finally. Let's, fingers crossed, we'll both do well. Fingers crossed it doesn't rain.
Well, my PlayStation just crashed as you said that, ironically.
God. Fingers crossed it doesn't crash again then for later on. But yeah, there's also Division 2 on in just under 20 minutes as well. So check that out as well. So check those two divisions out. You can also check out Division 1. That was on throughout the whilst Division 3 is on. I think that was a classic as well. So thanks for listening. I've been JessGames95. Liam New's been Evil Dragon. We'll see you next week for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. It should be entertaining, at least I'm looking forward to it. It was fun to watch last season and the season before. Have a good evening. Take care, stay safe, and good night.